stuff. Here's other things that you can think about too, is how to reduce costs. So like that's another big thing too, whenever it comes to shopping, is like trying to find good deals. Electronic gift cards, regifting junk like that scented candle. I know that I forget if it was like Saturday Night Live or somebody did a commercial about a scented candle that would just go around from office to office, and it was really funny. Um, don't be too proud. If there's something that you get and you don't love, like give it away to somebody else. That's all right. If you really are looking to be thoughtful about your gifts and you really have a very, very limited budget, try to think outside the box. There's a million different blogs and ideas on Pinterest and online about like how to create gifts from scratch and make things on a budget. And if you have a specific talent or skill, then you can maybe like do the old back rub coupons and that kind of stuff. Think about maybe doing family gifts instead of individual gifts. That's a good way to kind of save. Or do maybe like a white elephant or secret Santa kind of program if you have like a really big family, or really big office or something like that. I know we do that here at our office, and it turns out to be it turns out to be a lot of fun. It's very cost effective, and it turns out to be a lot of fun. So with that, you just do I don't know if you've heard of White Elephant, but basically you have like a dollar limit and everyone buys a gift, and most of the gifts are funny or silly or alcohol in my team. Um, and then everyone just exchanges them. Everyone opens a gift, and then the next person, the next number in the line, has the chance to either steal a gift from somebody else that's already been opened, or open up a new gift, and it becomes kind of fun. It's like a game and a gift exchange. Again, there's a million different examples out there. As students too, know and understand that there's like tons of different like discounts and resources available for you guys in terms of like school related stuff and electronics, and you can use student discounts, like on Amazon and all kinds of different things. So not a bad time to be a student and try to do some shopping. um, Cost reduction tips for traveling. Again, like this is like, I guess the cost reduction trip is have a global pandemic to where you're not allowed to leave your house. That's a good way to reduce your costs. I know my gas budget has gone down significantly since this pandemic has started. And think about just different options when times are more normal. Video conferencing and ways to connect to family members virtually or digitally, is definitely cost effective, and it's safer in today's times. And during normal times though, like there's nothing that says that you have to have your, you know, holiday get together during the actual holiday. You can actually like plan to do something in February when there may be, better deals and rates on things. And there's also like travel rewards and things like that that can kind of help mitigate or reduce your cost. Okay, so costs for reducing, or I'm sorry, tips for reducing costs around some of these ancillary things, like these other expenses that we see. Repurposing old household items. Again, Pinterest has like really changed my life because my wife loves Pinterest and she finds all kinds of ideas for like crafting and repurposing and reusing and, all these other kinds of things. I know that there's a lot of different like, you know, people that are very, very good about strategizing, thinking about next year right after the current holiday. That's a great strategy, is like, go clear out Target's, uh, you know, decorations and um, card stock and all that kind of stuff. Wrapping paper, that was the term I was looking for. The day after Christmas or the weekend after Christmas, things like that, or whatever holiday. For food and entertaining, potlucks, try to think about appetizers instead of meals. If you're looking at meeting up with some old friends, think about doing coffee instead of a dinner. Like these are common things that you're able to help reduce costs. For charity, things like that. Obviously, your time does have value, especially as a student. But instead of like having to write a check to your favorite charity. Maybe you donate some of your time. Uh, if you have old items that somebody else may be able to reuse or repurpose, that's a good time to kind of think about that as well. Okay, so the last thing that I'll talk about before we open it up for any questions or tips that you all may have or want or would like to share is, being cautious about the holiday debt cycle. So this is something that happens kind of regularly, especially if you're if you're struggling financially, but you still want to give your family a really good holiday experience. Is I got no money saved up. My paycheck isn't big enough to pay for all of the stuff that I need to buy. So, but I do got this nice little credit card in my wallet, and I go ahead and just put all of my holiday spending on those credit cards. You'll see, honestly, we see this at our on our credit card balances here at the credit union. Like we get reports and we see reports on like when balances are really high and when they go, get paid off. And you can see it, like you can see it clear as day. Huge spike around the holidays, holidays, and then tax return comes, and basically all of that, those balances go back down to low to near zero. um, that's a very common thing to do, is people just basically pay ahead their tax refund, tax return. um, if you continue to do this over and over again and you don't break the cycle, by like saving over time ahead of time, eventually you'll end up paying a lot of interest on things. So have a separate account. Again, this is what I do in my house. Try to have a separate account for just for holiday spending, just for birthdays and gifts. I have a whole, it's just called gifts, and that includes holidays and birthdays. And every week, every month, I mean, sorry, every paycheck that I get, I put a little bit into that, 50 bucks, 50 bucks, 50 bucks. And over the course of the year, it builds up. And then when that money comes out, I don't feel really bad about it. And if I need to go over, if it's something special or extraordinary and I need to go over, it's okay, because it's not really a whole lot. It's not going to be like $1,200 or $1,000 that I'll be going over. It'll be like maybe a few bucks, or 50 bucks or 100 bucks, something that I'm reasonably able to manage. So the whole thing around goal setting, the whole thing around financial planning, the whole thing around planning for like the holidays is to identify things that are coming that you know about, that you can try to manage or mitigate, and then try to do it. It's like, having the plan won't make you stick to it, like I mentioned earlier, but it will at least give you something to be a reference towards. So like if you're like, okay, I have my immediate family members price set, gift budget set around $100 per person. I see this thing that would be absolutely perfect for my mom, and it's $300. Like, can I absorb that? I probably can. Yeah, I can probably do that. I'm way over here, so I'm gonna have to like, maybe hand make my sister a cheese ball or something instead of, getting her $100 gift. But, by having this stuff pre-done or planned out in advance, it gives you some kind of aspect to what this is going to look like when it's all said and done. Again, you really want to try to avoid this, and you really want to try to avoid that hangover, that like feeling of like regret, because usually come the first of the year, that's when everyone tries to get themselves back into physical shape and fiscal shape because of a impulsive and potentially gluttonous holiday season, on present company included in that. And it's okay to do. Like, I'm not here to say that like if you do any of these things you're a bad or terrible person by any means. We're kind of conditioned to do this in our society based on the way that our holidays and society work. It's good, it gives people jobs. Like when people go out and spend money, that gives people jobs. It's a good thing. But you just don't want to leave yourself in a financially vulnerable position. That's the key.